Good morning. It is Sunday, and I have decided I'm not going to work today. Maybe. I'm not sure. I do have some admin-y sort of work stuff for a couple of my author clients, but the intention today is to film a couple of videos while I'm getting ready, and then sort through some of my winter jumpers that I haven't worn in a while, and maybe get rid of some of those. I'll donate them. The kitchen needs tidying up, and then we need to run out and get some ingredients for lunch today. And then maybe in between all of that, if I have time before cooking lunch, I will do some admin work for my clients. So that's kind of it. I just got up. Well, not just, but I just got up. I did all the morning things, breakfast, coffee, meds, that sort of stuff. And I've just gotten into the bathroom, and I did wake up like this. This is real life, okay? I'm not gonna. I don't believe in aesthetically beautifying my life, because I want to be raw and authentic as much as possible. More so just to remind myself, that this is what it is, and this is what my life is, and this is who I am. Because one of these days I'm going to look back on these videos, if I don't cringe too much, and go, okay, hey, this was me. And I just don't want to be contrived or manufactured and things like that. And for the people who do videos as a job, good for them. If that's what they do and that's how they want to, present themselves, wonderful. I love their aesthetically pleasing videos, and I love watching those. But I do a lot of this for me, so because for me it's more about making my own memories and reminding myself of what's important. So that's kind of what I'm doing. Anyway, today I've just brushed my hair. I have brushed my teeth. Brown headband or pink headband? What do you think? Pink. I think pink. Just to get this out of my hair. And then I will do the routine and have a bit of a chat, because that is kind of all I'm really doing. Okay, so I watched this morning. My morning routine usually consists of breakfast, and I'll watch a video or two, that kind of thing, while I'm doing that. And I watched this really fun video of this woman, doing a refresh of her wardrobe and makeup for fall. Well, she called it fall, but for us it's autumn. But she's in the northern hemisphere, and I'm just wondering, is this a normal thing, like for everyone, or is this a YouTube thing? Because I don't here. I mean, we have 4 seasons. Okay, there's a distinct summer. Spring, summer, autumn, winter. And there are differences in temperature, but the differences in temperature are not extreme. Micellar water, by the way. So it's not like we don't get snow. It does get cold. It can get down to freezing and a little below freezing every now and then. But, on average, it doesn't get that cold that, there's like snow and that kind of thing. But the summers are just blazingly hot here. Like 40 degrees and above hot. So, that's one thing. But do people do, I mean, we do have like summer clothes and winter clothes and things like that. But there's this whole thing, you know, on YouTube where they refresh their wardrobe and they refresh their makeup and all that sort of stuff. And I was watching her and being very entertained, and I really enjoyed it because, you know, her aesthetics were beautiful and, you know, all of that. So it just made me wonder, do people really sort of refresh that was my Tower 28 SOS. Do people really refresh like that? Like every like season or major season? Because here, I would say we do have really distinct different like clothes we would wear every season, because obviously in the summer it's very, very hot. So, you know, the teeny tiny tank tops come out and the shorts come out and the flowy light dresses come out. And then in the spring, I'm kind of going in the wrong direction actually. So in the fall, summer, fall, autumn, it starts to get a little bit cooler. And I love the autumn, but the temperatures also kind of drive me crazy. Toner. This is the Pro X by Olay Hydrating Essence Toner. It's not in the original bottle because that was ginormous. And I've moved it into a smaller bottle. I do that a lot. Yeah, so then it's like, oh, autumn is cool-ish, and I love autumn because then I can wear my sort of winter dresses. I don't wear a lot of sort of like jumpers and sweaters and pants because I don't like pants. I don't like stuff on my legs, which is sort of like a recent-ish development over the last, I want to say 3 or 4 years, because I was very much a pants and jeans and girl. You know, I still wore dresses and things leading up to that. This is my Paula's Choice 5% benzoyl peroxide ultra clear. I just used, was in my travel bag, and what I've done after a recent trip, I've pulled out some things that were sort of almost done. Like this is almost done. There's only that little bit left. And I've refilled them with fresher things. And I found that this, I stopped using it for a while actually. And I found that I break out more. And not that I have bad skin, but I do break out. And I break out more when I'm not using that regularly. And I only use a tiny, tiny amount. And it makes such a difference to, you know, to my skin. And it does help with the sebaceous filaments and the blackheads, because, you know, I know Echo's going to do this. She's going to pull the phone right up to her eyeballs to look at my pores. But I don't know if you can see, but, you know, my blackheads and my sebaceous filaments have been in pretty good shape. And it's pretty much just that, really. Oh, and my Paula's Choice Resist BHA 9 at night, a teeny tiny bit. But I don't use that every night because it can be a bit strong. And they've changed the packaging too. That's a pretty old one. This is my Well Derma Retinol Peptide Toner. It's taken me a long time to get it used up. It was 150 ml, and that is all that is left. So, and the original bottle is about that big. And I just needed to get rid of that bottle because it was taking up a lot of space. And I think I might be able to get one more use out of this. Maybe. Like, there's that much of it. So I'm going to stick it upside down. But yeah, so what was I talking about? Clothes. So I do, you know, sort of switch up the clothes, but it's not a very distinct switch, because I've got some in-between clothes that I wear sort of spring and autumn, and then there are definite summer clothes and there are definite winter clothes, which I really enjoy. And a lot of winter clothes is really just sort of more the same autumn dresses with a jacket and boots, as opposed to sneakers, you know, and a cardigan, that kind of thing. It's been cool this morning, so I've got a cardigan on. So, yeah, so I'm just wondering, like, is it a thing, like, to sort of, like, switch it up, you know, here's my closet, I'm taking all of the summer stuff out, and then I'm going to put all the winter stuff in, you know, that kind of thing, because I don't do that. I've got sort of like a section of my closet that's all my winter stuff, and then I've got a section in my closet which is all my summer stuff, and then I just kind of go to various parts of my closet. And I guess I'm privileged or blessed that I actually have enough room in my closet for that, because we have a 3-bedroom house and we've converted 2 of the bedrooms into offices because both hubby and I work from home. So hubby uses the closet in his office as his closet slash dressing room slash office. And oh, I should have said what that was. That was the Medipeel Peptide 9 Volume Biotox Ampoule. And it was 100 mils. I've been at it since June because I've got the date there. And I've only got that much of it left. It's nice. And it's a bit weird because you can sort of see it's a little chunky. Maybe it's because of the collagen. So you kind of have to shake it before you use it. And again, the container was terrible. It was this pipette thing and nothing came out of it. So I don't know who designs a lot of the packaging when they make products, but a lot of it doesn't work properly. This is another travel one that I'm using up. There's only like that little bit left, and it's a Paula's Choice retinol serum. So I'm just getting it out of the what do you call that thing? My travel bag, and I've replaced it with something else. Actually, I've replaced it with a Beauty of Joseon Revive Eye Serum Ginseng and Retinol Cream. And K-Beauty stuff is amazing because this is the eye cream and it's 30 mils. So, you know, it might as well be a full serum moisturizer. And I use it on my whole face because it's gentle enough for my eyes, it's gentle enough for my face, and it's wonderful. It's a retinol, and I really like it. So yeah, all that sort of commentary of me blathering was just reflecting on the fact that some people switch up their wardrobe. I have a teeny bit left. I think I might end up using it up today of my Paula's Choice AHA and BHA cream, which is very, very nice. I don't use this every day. I tend to sort of use it every other day, only because I don't want to over exfoliate my face, but my face tends to respond really well to acids, And so I generally like to keep it going to maintain the texture, especially sort of under my eyes. I saw someone refer to like the texture under their eyes as barnacles. And this is gentle enough that I don't have an issue with it under my eyes. But, you know, your under eye is very sensitive. So be gentle with it. And, you know, don't do this if you're not used to it. I'm very used to it. So, you know, I don't have an issue. But your neck skin is also, my neck skin is very, very sensitive. So I don't actually use this stuff on my neck. But sometimes I forget. And, you know, once every now and then it's not terrible. So that's done. And what am I doing? That's it. And sunscreen. So I'm still working on my, is this Round Lab sunscreen. And it's, I like it enough. It's all right. So, yep. It's quite moisturizing. So I haven't felt like I needed a extra moisturizer underneath it. And I, as you can see, use quite a lot of it. And then it kind of takes some effort to rub in. Get some down there as well, because I haven't decided what I'm going to wear today, and it might sort of cut a little bit low. I do have a friend coming over for a cup of coffee later this afternoon, so I should probably put some clothes on. I do put clothes on, but, you know, something that's a bit more presentable instead of sort of like this, which is my sort of normal everyday at home wear. I'll put a dress on, but we have to go out and get groceries anyway, so I'll put a dress on. The one thing I'm never sure about sunscreen is I've seen some people go, oh, you shouldn't rub your sunscreen in, you know, too much, because if you rub it in, you'll like break down the active ingredients and then they won't work properly. But I mean, you saw how much sunscreen I use, right? And you kind of need a lot of sunscreen in order for the sunscreen to actually work. So what are you going to do if you don't rub it in? I mean, they're like, oh, just pat it in. But when you pat, unless it's really, really runny and liquidy like the toners, that's just not going to work. So I don't know. I've just never figured that out, because, you know, I like to watch people talk about skincare to learn, but then some of the things I hear them say, I just don't understand. And that's basically it. I just don't understand it. So that's what it is. So this is it. I'm done. That was just me blathering away about reflecting on, you know, seasonal wardrobe changes. Let me know. Do you do that? I mean, if you're living in the tropics, like, you know, I grew up in Malaysia. It was just one season. Okay, it was just hot all through the year. You have hot, hotter, and hottest, and wet, wetter, and wettest. So, you know, it either got very, very hot or it got very, very wet. And, you know, it's the same clothes except with an umbrella, because it's still hot when it's wet. So, you know, it's not like it drops down to 10 degrees. It's still 30 or 40 degrees and wet. So that's kind of what I'm wondering. It's coming, well, it's spring. Officially it's spring, but it's coming into summer soon, maybe. And it's going to be 26 degrees today. It's kind of cool right now, which is why I have a cardigan on. But it's going to be 26 degrees. Get as high as 26 degrees. So I'm going to have to find something a little bit cooler to wear and no cardigan. But yeah, so that's it. That was me rambling on about seasonal wardrobes and that kind of thing, and generally just probably not making very much sense. So I'm going to go. I'm going to get dressed and do all the other stuff, and I will catch you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.